There, friends. Just wanted to make this real quick video to give some points of encouragement as you chatting more with people and connecting with them about getting started with Young Living and getting a premium starter kit, setting up their membership, getting on ER. So I will first off say that this process has been a developing one for me. Share with you the things that I far so that you can take them and run with them and do great things. The first part to keep in mind with anything that you do is to think about why you're doing what you're doing. So what's the passion and the drive behind why you're talking with this individual or why you're talking with anyone about Young Living, about oils, about health and wellness lifestyle? Because that's the energy into every conversation you then have. So it's not about selling product. We're one of the few companies that even from a marketing standpoint, we don't lead with about the products, about transform lives because of using oils, and Ningxia Red, all the other items that Young Living carries. So be very grounded in your why. Time to be prayerful about that, to write it down, to really wrap your mind around it and to know that that's the passion, the energy, and the drive you want to bring to every conversation that regardless of whether it's about oils or not, it's just about loving people and supporting them and pushing them gently, but in some cases forcefully, towards where it is that they need to be. So, and I'm actually going to change this up. Put it here. Bloop. There we go. So it's standing up a little bit higher. So, a couple of things to keep in mind when you're looking at encouraging someone to get started with oils. So the first thing is I would highly encourage you to create a list. It can be a top 40 list, meaning these are the people that are the ones that you know that you can contact, that you can talk with and say, hey, I really want to share this with you because I care about you and I really want the best for you. And they'll not only hear you out, but 9 times out of 10 will act upon what you said. You won't have that conversation straight up with each and every one of them. In fact, I would encourage you, unless they bring up oils first, to be in a place where you're listening. I was just reminded by a sweet cross-line sister about that, the importance of us being listeners first before we're speaking, because it's in that process of listening that you then can start to take mental notes. There's some different organizing systems that are out there. Some people will use a notebook. Others will use things like Trello. It's an organizing system that you can create a virtual board. You can get it for your phone, on your iPad, on the computer. But making that space where you're keeping track of those pain points really for those individuals. Let's say you meet Keisha, and Keisha, as you're chatting with her, she shares things about how it's really hard for her little one to sleep. And she's been having some cramping pains and some issues that have just been, a bit uncomfortable. She doesn't know what to do with it. Or she may be feeling really anxious and stressed at work. Right there, as you're listening, you're taking notes and you're going, what do I know from the starter kit that would be helpful for sleep? Okay, lavender is good. Peace and calming is good. Even sometimes valor is good. Okay, then she mentioned having some cramping or some pain. So maybe it's gassiness. Maybe it's gas related. So Digize would be awesome. Maybe it's something that's joints and peppermint would be helpful. And then she's feeling really stressed at work. So Stress Away, of course, would be a natural fit. So as you're thinking about those different oils and kit, you want to keep all of that in mind. Then at some point, as you're just going about your space and you're, again, just keeping track of that conversation as you're having it back and forth. When that opportunity arises, when that door opens, whether it be you ask how they feel natural remedies, how they feel about approaching natural wellness, and they're open to it, then you can share with them about how oils have been helpful for you. Because again, they need to see that it's been helpful for you. That's the reason why you hear a lot of, you want to be a product of the product, because we're not about telling other people to buy something that we have no interest in, or we have not how it functions as a business. Those who do great things in terms of growing their business are doing it from this is how I use my oils. This is how I use my supplements. This is how it's a part of my everyday life. So with that, you can then share, whether it's bits and pieces along the way, or you can talk about a whole collection of things that were helpful for you and say, this is something that I am now venturing into and doing as not only supporting my family, but allowing it to be supportive of our income, if that is where you are as a business builder, as an active sharer. Or it could be where you say, and I'm actively, I love sharing about it. I love helping other people to get started in the same way that I did. And the idea is that you're giving them that language so that they understand me, getting started with me, helping you. This is part of what I do. This is what I do. Okay. So as that conversation happens, be open for them to ask questions. As you see fit, be willing to give samples. So getting little sample dram bottles. They have some that even have the dropper tops. Those are super helpful and useful. And so with those, whether it's through samples, conversation, you're building up and thinking about those different pain points and the different oils that would help to address that. One model that I thought was really, really helpful and creates a beautiful detailed outline for them to really ponder is basically, and I can send you the template for this if you'd like, is basically taking the kit oil and breaking down the different ways that it'd be customized and used for them and for their issues. So you're not just giving them just a post that you found somewhere. And you're saying, yeah, these oils are awesome. You need it. It's just, that's true. But why is it? That's why you're going to have those compelling stories of how it's useful for them. So I'll make sure to make that available to you so you can then make use of that. That was from the incredible Casey Jackson. So appreciate her for that. And even if it's a lot of topical use with the premium starter kit, that diffuser is just, it's fantastic. It works wonderful in large rooms. It's what really sets the kit apart. Honestly, the oils alone would be more than $165. That diffuser makes it possible so that you can use the oils in all three ways. We talk about aromatically, topically, and internally. So in your cooking or in capsule, all of that together. The other part that you want to, of course, encourage is the fact that you would be providing them with support or connecting them with classes. If you're in a place where you're going, I want for them to be a part of, if I'm ready yet to support them in that way, that's okay. Please feel free to either talk with the person who enrolled you, in many cases that may be me, or whoever it is that enrolled you, and chat with them about what you'd want to do about that, because that enroller, in large part, essential to where they need to go. The sponsor is also there to provide that support, but the enroller is normally the one that really gives a good brunt of that support to that individual. So something to keep in mind. So after you sent off that message, I recommend sending it in an email or in a text. I like text messages. So that way it's there, reread it to see it. So you're not just word vomiting on them and saying a whole lot of things, and you're allowing them to ponder how this kit would be helpful for them. And the other piece of advice that is to hold off on sending a referral in terms of sending your link until you get a confirmed yes from them, because you don't want to send it too soon. It could be in your pushing. Instead, you want to give it time. If you have been in that place where you have a conversation with someone and you ended up jumping the gun, I've done that many a times. I've learned to now just pause, double back, and really invest time in that person. Because the more you get to know them, the more you're listening, you'll get to hear the different things that'll be helpful for them and go from there. So with that in mind, I'm going to hop off of here, send some items to you so you have some support for what you need. And if you've got questions, just let me know. Cheers.